Our next presenter is from Simtra, Biopharma Solutions. All right. And he is Greg Sasha. I also want to mention that they are a 2025 CDMO Leadership Award recipient. Greg, welcome.
Thank you very much. Greg Sasha here. Thank you for the introduction. Again, Greg Sasha, Senior Research Scientist, actually Global Senior Scientist working for Simtra Biopharma Solutions. We are a premier independent research and development manufacturing organization. We work with pharmaceutical and biotechnology companies to develop your injectable products for distribution to your clients and patients around the world. We have over 65 years of injectable product experience, and we demonstrate this through our reliable performance. We hope that you'll visit our facilities, and I'll explain more about our facilities that we have both in Bloomington, Indiana, and in our site in Germany. They're both award-winning facilities. We're also very proud of the people that we have working in our facilities. When you visit, we'll hopefully have you meet them. Like I said, we're quite proud of them because they are well experienced. They're tenured, as you'll hopefully see. Highly trained, well experienced with the products and with the equipment. We're also future focused with our capabilities. What that means is that we look across our sites and look at our equipment and our facilities. We examine what we currently have and what we hope to have to meet our clients' needs. We currently have 2 manufacturing facilities. We also have a main facility, which is our facility in Parsippany, New Jersey, which is our global headquarters. Our 2 manufacturing facilities are one, which is in Bloomington, Indiana, and also in Halle, Westfalen, Germany. Our site in Halle, Westfalen, Germany manufactures highly potent and chemotherapeutic agents. So they focus on those products that require isolator technology. That site has always had clinical scale manufacturing and full scale manufacturing. They are now also capable of formulation and process development. They also are expanding what they can offer. So they have a new facility being put in place. One part of their facility will now be able to offer pre-filled syringe manufacturing. Also, what they're being able to offer is additional freeze drying capacity. At our site in Bloomington, Indiana, we've always had a research and development site that's well known for our well-equipped facilities. Within that research and development group, we have a team that is also well known for their experience in data integrity and quality assurance, specifically focused in research and development. Also on that site, we've always had capability of full-scale manufacturing. What we're now able to provide, especially towards the end of this year, is clinical manufacturing. I'll provide you with some examples of that in later slides. What we're also expanding is our ability to further manufacture. We'll have additional manufacturing facility being installed later this year, and definitely within 2026, which will offer 3 new freeze drying areas, as well as 2 pre-filled syringe manufacturing lines and a vial filling line that can supply our freeze drying lines. We focus on sterile product manufacturing, and that portfolio includes pre-filled syringe manufacturing, as well as vials that contain solutions that are filled aseptically, as well as vials that are filled with solutions that are then freeze dried. We also offer a diluent syringe program. What that means is that these diluent syringes are also registered with regulatory bodies to provide with our clients with an option. That option is to provide pre-filled syringes that contain a diluent as a product for providing diluents to freeze-dried solids if a client needs that option. Other products that we provide are cytotoxics, antibody drug conjugates or ADCs, and highly potent compounds. All of those are filled at our facility in Halle, Germany. Also, what we provide are biologics or large molecules, small molecules, vaccines, and diluents. All of those are filled at our facility in Bloomington, Indiana. So our scope of services. Our scope of services have expanded. What we've always had is development services, especially in Bloomington, Indiana. That now encompasses a new name. What that's called is development and pre-commercial services. Why? Because now we can offer clinical operations. Those clinical operations are expanding. They're expanding in Bloomington, Indiana, and also in our site in Halle, Germany. So in both sites, we have formulation and process development. Analytical method development has always been a solid source at both sites. We are well known for our capabilities in freeze drying. Our site in Bloomington, Indiana is known as our Lyophilization Center of Excellence. We collaborate with consortia outside of our company, as well as with scientists outside of our company to ensure that our expertise is not only well-grounded inside our company, but also outside of our company. What we can offer, as well as not only now, but in the future, is conjugation and purification of antibody drug conjugates, or ADCs. That will be offered, especially in 2026, in our site in Halle, Germany. For our development and pre-commercial services, our goal is always with the end in mind. What that means is that for formulation and process development, we develop considering what the needs are for final development or full-scale services. We develop knowing where the failure points are for our formulation and for our process. Therefore, when it comes to full-scale manufacturing, we know that those processes should not fail at full scale. What that further means for our clients is that we develop, or we strive to develop, a close collaboration, meaning that when we work with our clients, we know that When our clients come to us with a drug substance, that drug substance can often be very difficult to come by. And that drug substance, we also know, is very expensive. Therefore, we work closely with our clients during development to ensure that our clients know exactly how much we're going to use and where and how we're going to use it before we start our studies. And then after we perform those studies, all of that documentation is contained within electronic notebooks and within electronic studies, so that everything is transferred directly to the clients, and that all of those studies can then be transferred as the client needs to support studies later on for submissions. When we look at all of what's offered, some of our clients need services that support a drug substance, meaning development from your substance to a product. Some clients need formulation support into a process. Others may need a process only to support clinical operations. Others may need clinical operations only. So we are here to support all of that. And this flow chart shows exactly what we can do and what we have to offer. We have over 20 years of experience in formulation development, and especially lyophilization and freeze drying experience. We can offer process development, process optimization. We suggest materials compatibility based on the materials that are commonly used in manufacturing. We can help support selection and container closure components. We can suggest forest degradation studies, and then we often support continued operations during full-scale operations. Some of those include particle identification. For example, sometimes particles are found during routine operations. And what we strive for is isolation and identification of those particles that may be found on a line or even in a product within 24 hours of finding them. Here is just an example of clinical operations within our site in Halle, Germany. We have flexible filling technologies that can be used either on a peristaltic line or using a piston pump with 100% weight checks. They can handle also flammable solvents. And of course, they can be directly transferred into a freeze dryer. This is our filling line that will be fully operational definitely towards the end of this year and in 2026. It is an AST Genesis R. It will also be connected directly to an IMA Lyomax 9, a 3.9. It is, this Lyomax 9 will be capable of controlled ice nucleation. I cannot get into that now, but I will state that we have full capabilities at laboratory scale of controlled ice nucleation, which means that we are capable of ice nucleation at lab scale, clinical scale, and we'll also have that capability at full scale. And finally, Simtra Biopharma Solutions has integrated services both at or all the way through from development services to clinical operations to full scale. We have award-winning facilities with well-experienced people that we hope that you will visit and interact with. For more information, please visit these sites. I hope that we can answer any of the questions that you have.
Thank you, Greg. Really good presentation. So do you have capacity to take on development projects now?
Absolutely. We would welcome the chance to speak with you more about your molecules. That's the first thing that we would like to do, is just learn more about what the client may have to offer. The client always knows a lot more about the molecule than what we do. And so we like to build that collaboration first. And we do have capacity to take on that.
Okay. All right. Great stuff. So if I heard you right, at least 2 of your locations have both development and manufacturing co-located. And so it may be at all. So do you have at all of your locations? And what kind of benefits does that deliver to the drug sponsor client?
Oh, that's a very good question. Both sites have formulation and process development on site, so co-located with manufacturing. I see that as a great benefit. The benefit there is that during manufacturing, if there is a challenge that occurs, they have direct contact with development to ask any questions that they may have to support any problems that might occur. This may especially occur with freeze drying. Questions can occur for freeze drying that you really need somebody with that type of expertise to look at the in-process data and provide some expertise to handle those questions.
And so looking out into the future, what kind of investments are you looking at? What kind of investments maybe do you have underway now? Where do you see adding more capabilities?
Our capabilities that I'm really excited about and have wanted at these sites include clinical operations. So biologics, large molecules are expensive and really lend themselves to smaller volumes. So clinical operations are necessary because they need smaller volumes, smaller operations to handle those volumes. And so now we'll have those operations, both in Bloomington and our site in Germany. So that was one expansion that we really desperately needed. Another expansion is our expansion for freeze drying at both sites and our expansion for pre-filled syringes. Those expansions drastically help what we can offer.
All right. Well, that's great news. Great news for currently and for the future. So thank you very much. Greg Sasha. He's the Global Senior Scientist at Simtra Biopharma Solutions. Thank you very much for being with us today. And congratulations again on the CDMO Leadership Award.